Hello and welcome back to CCSP certified channel. Today in continuation of the previous lecture which was OWASP top 10 vulnerabilities. It is a second lecture. Will cover other vulnerabilities like cross-site scriptings and others. So as I informed in the last lecture also, OWASP will take 3 to 4 lectures, and we'll do a quick recap before we'll start the topic. But before this I quickly like to explain that to my new audience that currently this topic is going on. Before this I have already covered over 80% syllabus. We have 5 topics which are which are first one was the encryptions and use of cryptography and encryptions to secure data in the cloud, identity access management, cloud characteristics, risk in the cloud, and the international laws and standard. And this way I have covered over 80% syllabus. The last topic is going on, which is where I will cover remaining 20% of the syllabus. It is lecture 12 of the last topic, and we started OWASP in the lecture 1. And a couple of years before, I started this video series with the ambition or with the vision to help you get further faster in your CCSP exam certificate. So what I cover in this one, definitely whole 100% syllabus is not possible to cover, but my ambition or my wish to cover high probability exam topics in this video series. Also difficult exam concept, because soundness of concept is very important to clear any of the IC score exam, especially CCSP, which is a technical in nature and which is concept centric. And also I prefer cover questions along with the theory, so it will help to understand what type of questions can be asked from each portion of the concept or the theory. So I cover questions along with the theories, and I cover questions from various sources. One of the important sources is CCSP question bank, but apart from this I do conduct classroom study also, and I have 100% success ratio so far. So I collect the memory based question from those candidates, and I cover this in this video lectures, and definitely some sample question banks available on the internet. So I will try to use my 15 years of IT knowledge, CCSP and CISSP and other cloud certification learnings to things easy and simple for you. That's my ambition. And in case you are definitely this YouTube is sufficient in case you are already a professional and good have a good understanding of the security concept. But in case you want uh, more help to understand some of the concept, or need assistance on the solving questions papers, or any other type of help, then you can reach me for those help, or you can purchase my classroom recordings also with a nominal rate. You write me on the ccsp certified the gmail.com, or WhatsApp me on this number for more detail about the same. So now we start the topic. We do a quick recap about the OWASP. We covered that it is a non-profit organization which provides a ranking and remediation guidelines for top 10 most critical web vulnerabilities. And every couple of like 3 to 4 years we see that list. And in our syllabus 2017 and 2021 is the part of our syllabus. Majority of the um, concepts or majority of the vulnerabilities are same. Few are new which we will cover along with the common one. So we have already covered broken access control, and in SQL injection attack, and sensitive data exposure in the last lecture. Today topic is a cross-site scripting, very important topic from the exam perspective, because majority of the time question being asked from this only, cross-site scripting, which is known as XSS also. Don't get confused, it is not CSS, it is XSS. That's known as a cross-site scripting, which is also known as a indirect attack, and it's good to know for your professional life also, but for exam perspective it is must to know. So what is this cross-site scripting? So XS is a security vulnerability that tricks a browser into accepting data from an untrusted source. So browser being tricked such a way that it accepts the data from untrusted source. Application that accept user inputs without properly controlling the outputs are particularly targets for XSS. So if you have in your application taking some user inputs like feedback or comments or any inquiry, then if you don't properly control those inputs, then your application can be target for XSS. If an attacker successfully exploit this vulnerability, they can hijack a user session, damage website, or redirect users to the malicious sites. We will see this in diagram, but as I informed, this is indirect attack. Attacker do not interact with the victim, and how it happens we'll see. But it's very important attack that sometime in exam, if you get confused, always see if it is mentioned that it is an indirect attack or attacker is not directly impacting victim, or it is a attack happens with the middleman or middle party, then it is a cross-site scripting. So there are some prevention mechanism here, but we'll come to them later. First we'll cover how this attack has happened. So what attacker do? Attacker, this is a website, let's say website like a Crick Info that publish a detail about scores of the cricket matches and some of the article they publish. And attacker, they give the options to provide the feedback of the blog, how they found the blog, whether the blog was good. So attacker, what attacker do in this, on those input fields, attacker put a script which is known as a cross-site scripting script, and that gets saved to the website of the database like Crick Info database. So Crick Info, if you there is input field, you provide a script as input field and save it. It may get saved to the database of that application if they don't check it properly. And when someone else open that particular page of that website, let's say there is a blog written on the on particular scenario, let's say Hardik Pandya not selected as a T20 captain, which is a recent news, then if some user read that page, that script part of that comment also get loaded, and that get loaded to the browser of that victim, and they impact and they send data to the attackers. So victim is opening a legitimate website, but as a return legitimate website sending a code which is attacker code, and then attacker get a control of the victim browser, and all this possibility like attacker can use the user sessions or can damage the websites or can redirect user to malicious website based on this browser control. And there are prevention mechanisms like if you use properly escape of all untested data based on the HTML content, like any untested data that's coming, there should be a proper escaping of the special character, and there should be server side whitelisting of the inputs validations. If any inputs are provided by users of any of the field, there should be validation whether the inputs is a script or input is a valid command. This way it can be stopped. In exam, they will give a scenario like this. They may not give a give the exactly XSS attack. They said that you find a incident has happened, and you as a security incident manager, you try to triage the issue, and you identify that your database has a script that is came from an input field from a attacker, and because of this your users get impacted. So you understand this scenario, and based on this you will able to identify it is a XSS attack. The next one on the same line is using component with the non-vulnerabilities. It looks very easy that why should I use a component which is non-vulnerabilities, but in industry it happens, and it is a practice because those components or those APIs are open source and they can be used easily in the code. Because of this rapid developments, developer use those APIs or open source libraries for the development quickly, and because of this the non-vulnerabilities get part of the websites. So libraries and frameworks from the open source community must not be or should not be used if they contain some non-vulnerabilities, because they can, this compromised code can jeopardize the whole application and even the potentially the entire organizations. As attacker can exploit the vulnerabilities such as SQL injection or XSS attack to take over the application. So with the libraries limitations, they first get access of this application, then they can do explore other vulnerabilities like SQL injection, XSS attack to get further kneel down or can further impact the application. That's why always and there is a very famous case of WannaCry ransomware which exploited SMB vulnerabilities known as Eternal Blue and impacted thousands of the users. Recently, the Microsoft blue screen issue occurred, though it was not an attack, but it was because of the vulnerabilities or mishandling of the components. This may happen. And there are some prevention mechanisms. Definitely, the important prevention mechanism is identify all components and their versions, including dependencies. Monitor the security of these components through a public database. Project mailing list and security mailing list ensure they are kept up to date. Establish security policies, governance, and maintain a software bill of materials, like software is being used from which source and what is the version and who is the vendors. It is important to maintain this bill of material. So this way you can prevent these vulnerabilities. So we'll see what type of questions can be covered. This for today on the theory part. We already covered a few questions in the last video, and as I informed, as it is a single topic, we will not cover 5 questions for each video. We'll cover 3 to 4 questions in each video. So first one is, let's say I want to use a cloud specific list of application issues. Which of the following options should he choose? OWASP top 10, NIST dirty dozen, SEN top 25, MITR attack, and CKRS. So if you are not aware about the other keywords, at least you are aware about the OWASP top 10, and it is mentioned that cloud specific list of application issues. It is just to confuse you, because OWASP top 10 is the application issues whether they are on the cloud or on premise. But as it is a cloud specific exam, they may confuse you by might writing this keyword like cloud specific, cloud native issues. Then it is OWASP applicable globally, whether you are working on cloud, non-cloud, hybrid. OWASP top 10 vulnerabilities best source for fighting the application issues. This NIST Dirty Dozen and MITR are the distractors, and send top 5 is identify top 5 not application issue. This is system issues. The answer will be OWASP. Which type of attacks occur when an application receives untested data and that send it to a web browser without proper validation? We have just seen the scenario. It is a scenario when the untested data is being sent as an input field, and browser of the victim is get impacted because of the improper validation from server side. That is a cross-site scripting. Last one in this one, Dana organization requires a software bill of material SMBOM for each application it deploys. What OWASP top 10 items does an OWASP helps to avoid? We just have seen that if we have components known for applications, we can at least avoid the vulnerabilities and outdated components we use in the application. So option will be A. So that's for today. Do share your feedback on this email or WhatsApp me on this number. And in case you found it useful, please like my channel, subscribe my channel. Thank you so much.